Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you think about money. For most of our lives, we're handed this very specific linear formula. Go to school, get a high-paying job, and then buy nice things, right? We're literally taught to earn just so we can spend. But if you look at the actual data and the habits of the truly wealthy, that formula is entirely backward. So today, we're pivoting that mindset. We're moving from earning to spend to earning to build. Get ready, because we're going to look at exactly how wealth is actually constructed rather than just how it's displayed.
Okay, let's dive right in with a visceral question that challenges pretty much everything society tells us about being rich. I want you to imagine two people. Person A is pulling in a massive $250,000 a year. They probably drive a luxury car, take lavish vacations, wear all the designer clothes. They look rich. But they own zero assets. Nothing. Then you have person B. They make a very modest $70,000 a year. They probably drive a 10-year-old sedan and live incredibly frugally. But here's the kicker. They own a piece of property, and they've been steadily funding a portfolio of index funds. Now, by society standards, person A is the clear winner, right? But mathematically, person B is the one building an absolute financial fortress, while person A is just building a fragile house of cards.
Section 1. Income does not equal wealth, shattering the paycheck myth.
So we're starting our journey of financial unlearning right here by dismantling the illusion of the high-paying job. Look, the biggest trap in personal finance is confusing a high salary with high wealth. It's absolutely crucial to grasp this stark difference between the cash you generate and the wealth you actually retain. Think of it like this. Income is just an event. You trade your time and your expertise, and boom, you get a paycheck in return. It's simply the money flowing in from your labor. Net worth, on the other hand, is a state of being. It's your total assets, meaning everything you own of value, minus your total liabilities, which is everything you owe. You could have a massive river of income flowing in, but if your dam is broken and that cash just flows right back out to pay for liabilities, well, your net worth stays at absolute zero. Remember, wealth is what you keep, not what you make.
It's wild how a flashy lifestyle often masks a super fragile financial reality. On the high-income side, you're usually trapped in the highest possible tax brackets because W-2 income is heavily taxed. You're also incredibly susceptible to something called lifestyle creep. You know how it goes. As you make more, your tastes just naturally get way more expensive. But the most dangerous part? You have an absolute reliance on that next paycheck. If the job disappears, the whole lifestyle collapses entirely. But now, look at the high net worth side. This is characterized by your investments doing the heavy lifting, actually generating passive income for you while you sleep. The end result here isn't just money sitting in a bank account, it's financial freedom. It's literally the ability to dictate exactly how you spend your time.
Section 2. The net worth difference. Building versus spending.
Let's consider a real-world example. Picture a doctor earning $300,000 a year, but they're carrying massive student debt, a jumbo mortgage, luxury car leases, expensive country club memberships, the whole shebang. Because of all that, they're often living paycheck to paycheck. If their clinic closes, they're in immediate financial distress. Conversely, picture a teacher who has spent 30 years living well below their means. They have a completely paid-off mortgage and a robust retirement portfolio. This kind of pattern interrupt really proves that it doesn't matter how large your shovel is if you're just using it to dig a deeper hole of lifestyle creep. At the end of the day, the teacher has bought their freedom. The doctor has really just bought golden handcuffs.
Section 3. Stocks versus real estate, the battleground of capital.
Once you actually understand that wealth must be built and retained, we have to evaluate the two heavyweights of where you should actually park your capital. And to be clear, we aren't declaring a definitive winner here, we're just decoding which vehicle serves which specific purpose. First up, liquidity. Stocks represent highly liquid equity. You can exit a position with the click of a button and have your cash clear in days. Super easy. Real estate, conversely, is highly illiquid. It requires months to execute a sale. Next is barrier to entry. You can acquire fractional shares of equities today with nominal capital, literally right from a brokerage app on your phone. But real estate, that usually requires a substantial down payment, financing leverage, and pretty strong credit. Finally, tangibility. Stocks are financial instruments. They represent fractional ownership in a corporation's future cash flows. Real estate, though, is a hard asset. You have a physical property that you can improve, leverage, and rent out. Both are absolutely phenomenal wealth builders. They just serve entirely different functions in your portfolio strategy. So depending on your risk profile and your personal goals, your capital might be split, say, 60-40. 60% into stocks and 40% into real estate. Why this specific mix? Well, because it perfectly balances the highly liquid, historically steady compound growth of the stock market with the tangible, tax-advantaged, cash-flowing nature of physical property. It's kind of like getting the best of both worlds. The equities market protects your purchasing power against inflation over the long haul, while real estate can provide immediate cash flow, great depreciation benefits, and leverage.
Section 4. What Rich Parents Teach. The Generational Download.
You see, building a high net worth isn't just about math, matrices, or asset allocation. It's profoundly about mindset, and specifically the mindset that gets passed down through generations. I'm sure you've heard this phrase before, but really let it sink in for a second. Don't work for money, make money work for you. This punchy little mantra is basically the synthesized psychological blueprint that wealthy families drill into their children super early on. Middle-class teaching usually focuses on trading time for a salary, right? Getting a good, safe job. Wealthy teaching, however, focuses on acquiring assets that generate capital completely independently of your time. It shifts the entire perspective of money from being a reward for your labor to being a tool for leverage. Think of it this way. Money becomes an employee that works 24/7, never takes a sick day, and definitely doesn't need a coffee break.
So here are the 3 fundamental mindset shifts required to actually break the cycle of financial illiteracy for the next generation. Let's break them down. Number 1. Prioritize owning assets over buying liabilities. Rich parents teach their kids to acquire cash-flowing vehicles that put money in their pocket before ever buying depreciating goods that take money out. Number 2, treat time as the ultimate currency. True wealth isn't about buying a shiny new Rolex. It's about buying back your Tuesday. And number 3, treat financial literacy as the real inheritance. Let's be honest, leaving millions to a child who doesn't understand capital allocation is just a recipe for disaster. The true inheritance is the operating system, that deep foundational knowledge of exactly how to manage, invest, and protect capital.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you lost your income tomorrow, zero severance, absolutely no next paycheck, how long could you survive on your net worth alone? A week? A month? 10 years? The rest of your life? That answer right there, that is your true wealth score. I really hope this explainer helps you reflect on where your money is actually going and inspires you to start focusing on building your net worth rather than just inflating your income. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I highly encourage you to start making your money work for you starting right now.